The basketball world exploded in 2026 after a shocking comment about LeBron James during a live interview. Isiah looked straight into the camera and said, "He gives up when things get hard." No tweet. No anonymous source. No hiding behind headlines. He said it live, with full confidence and without a second of doubt. At first, the biggest sports channels barely talked about it. It wasn't the top story on ESPN or TNT, and many fans were surprised by how little attention it was getting. But that didn't stop the clip from spreading. It quickly made its way through basketball group chats, where people kept saving it, sharing it, and talking about it. Isiah's words did more than criticize one part of LeBron's career. They poured even more fuel on the never-ending debate over one big question: who truly deserves to be called the greatest of all time? Then the interviewer turned to the Hall of Famer and longtime NBA All-Star with another question. What percentage of NBA players do you think truly want to win?
How LeBron came to the decision that he wants to play again, but it won't be with LA.
I think LeBron James made the decision on Tuesday here that he will enter free agency, but not only that, he has decided to leave the Los Angeles Lakers. Rich Paul, his agent, informed Rob Pelinka, the Lakers' president of basketball operations, that the Lakers can move on with their offseason because LeBron James is moving on with them. He is leaving after 8 years. He led them to a 2020 NBA.
100%, he replied. The interviewer looked surprised and asked, "You really think every single player wants to win?" It was early 2026, and the NBA was running like it always does. Trade rumors were everywhere. Players were getting injured. Social media was full of non-stop basketball debates. Everything felt completely normal. No one had any idea that one interview was about to change the conversation. Then Isiah Thomas sat down for what seemed like a regular interview. At first, it looked no different from the many others fans had seen over the years. A Hall of Famer talking about basketball history, comparing different eras, sharing personal stories, and giving his thoughts on the game. The kind of interview that usually creates a few viral clips before people move on. No one was expecting a shocking moment. Even the interviewer wasn't trying to start any drama. The question was simple. What separates true legends from great players? Was it their mindset, their leadership, or their championship mentality? Normally, a question like that leads to a thoughtful answer that people talk about for a day or two before the next big story takes over. Isiah looked straight into the camera. He paused for a second. The mood in the room suddenly changed. Then he said the words that instantly grabbed everyone's attention. From the neck down, and I'm not going to judge.
Guys, don't believe the fake narratives coming from the media right now. Nick Wright is out there. Everybody is saying the same crap, that LeBron simply wanted to move on. It's not true. They said he wanted the Lakers to come to him with an offer as soon as the season ended. Well, they didn't. You know, Rich Paul said it. Shams posted about it about a month ago or so, that LeBron is waiting for the Lakers to present him an offer, make their moves or whatever, and then come to him and present it to him. They never did. Dude, you can't dump a girl that stopped calling you the choice.
Some significant breaking news out of the NBA. According to Shams Charania, the Lakers are signing Austin Reeves to a 4-year, $185 million maximum contract to return to the franchise with a player option for the final season. That would be in 2029-20.
The interviewer didn't waste any time. So, are you saying LeBron is better than Michael Jordan? The question hung in the air for a moment. Everyone knew this wasn't just another basketball debate anymore. The conversation had reached the biggest question in NBA history, and all eyes were on Isiah, waiting to hear what he would say next. You would? He quits when things get tough. Just 5 words. But those 5 words hit like a bomb. Isiah wasn't speaking in general. He wasn't dropping hints or leaving people guessing. He called out LeBron James by name and shared his opinion without holding anything back. At the same time, Isiah made one thing very clear. He has great respect for LeBron's talent. LeBron is one of the most gifted athletes this game has ever seen, he said. Nobody can take that away from him. But when the pressure is at its highest and the biggest moments arrive, I've seen him look for a way out. And I can't ignore that when we're talking about the greatest player of all time. Whether people agreed with him or not, Those comments instantly became the center of the conversation. And think about who was saying it. This wasn't a social media personality looking for attention. This wasn't someone chasing clicks with a hot take. This was Isiah Thomas, a two-time NBA champion, a Hall of Famer, a player known for fighting through pain, embracing pressure, and never backing down from the biggest moments. That's why so many fans took his words seriously. When Isiah talks about toughness, people know he's speaking from his own experience. He didn't laugh after making the comment. He didn't try to soften it. He spoke with confidence, as if this was a conclusion he had reached after watching LeBron for years. The clip spread through basketball group chats almost immediately. One person shared it with another, then another. Soon everyone seemed to be asking the same question. Did you see what Isiah just said? Fans couldn't stop talking about it. Some viewers also felt the interview wasn't getting as much attention from major sports outlets as they expected. That led to even more discussion online, with people wondering why such a bold opinion wasn't leading every headline. But what really made Isiah's comments stand out wasn't just the quote itself. He explained why he felt that way. Instead of pointing to one game or one playoff series, he said he believed he had noticed the same pattern more than once during LeBron's career. He talked about body language in elimination games. He talked about how superstars respond when the pressure is at its highest. He pointed to moments where, in his opinion, LeBron's confidence and decision-making looked different. His argument wasn't based on one play or one season. He believed it was something that had happened more than once. Watch the eyes, Isiah said. You can tell when a player is truly locked in. There's something different about the way he carries himself. I've seen that version of LeBron. But I've also seen another version where the body is still there, but the mindset looks different. He added that, in his opinion, those moments happened in some of the biggest games of LeBron's career more often than many fans are willing to admit. Think about the debates basketball fans have every single day. The arguments in comment sections. The conversations in barbershops. The non-stop debates in group chats where everyone speaks their mind. Fans constantly go back and forth over playoff games, fourth quarters, elimination matchups, and unforgettable moments. Everyone has their own examples to support their side. Many analysts avoid making strong claims because they know the backlash will come immediately. Isiah didn't avoid it. He said exactly what he believed, right on camera. And within hours, basketball fans everywhere were talking about it. Then he took the conversation one step further. He brought Michael Jordan into the debate. Not to create drama, but because he believed the comparison mattered. Isiah explained it this way. Michael never gave you that other version. Not once. Not when everything was on the line. That's the difference between the greatest player of all time and one of the greatest players of all time. For Isiah, the biggest difference wasn't points. It wasn't championships. It wasn't career numbers. It wasn't the stat sheet at all. For him, it came down to one question. Which version of a player shows up when everything is on the line? According to Isiah, that's the standard that separates the greatest from everyone else. That's the line that separates the greatest from everyone else, Isiah said. By the time that interview clip had made its way across the internet, basketball fans were completely split. Some believed Isiah had finally said out loud what many former players may have been thinking for years. Others felt his comments were unfair and ignored everything LeBron has achieved throughout his career. No matter which side people were on, one thing was clear. The debate exploded. Social media lit up. Podcasts started talking. Group chats wouldn't stop buzzing. And then the story took another unexpected turn. Not long after the clip started spreading, some fans said it became harder to find. A few reposts disappeared. Some links no longer worked. The original upload also seemed more difficult to track down. That quickly raised questions online. Of course, videos get removed all the time for normal reasons. Copyright claims, platform rules, or decisions made by the creator can all lead to content disappearing. Still, some viewers felt this clip vanished faster than they expected, and they started asking why. Others also noticed that several major sports shows didn't immediately focus on Isiah's comments. Some believed that was simply an editorial decision. Others thought it deserved much more attention. That difference in opinion only fueled the conversation. After all, bold basketball debates usually become headline news. So when this one didn't seem to dominate every sports show right away, many fans started talking about that just as much as the interview itself. Part of the reason was simple. LeBron James isn't just an NBA superstar. He's one of the biggest names in sports. Every discussion involving his name attracts massive attention. Some fans believe opinions that challenge popular narratives don't always receive the same level of coverage. Others completely disagree and point to the constant attention LeBron has received throughout his career. That disagreement became part of the story. Because if people never hear about a debate, many casual fans may never know it even happened. That's why clips shared online can sometimes build their own momentum, especially when viewers believe they deserve a bigger spotlight. As the conversation continued, another topic started gaining attention. The public reaction looked exactly how you'd expect. Supporters defended LeBron's legacy. Critics backed Isiah's opinion. Every social media platform filled with arguments from both sides. At the same time, some online discussions claimed that former players were talking about the interview privately in a more careful way. Those claims were never publicly confirmed, but they added another layer to the conversation. Some people believed retired players preferred to keep their opinions behind closed doors rather than become the center of another major sports debate. Whether that was true or not, it added even more curiosity around an interview that had already captured the basketball world's attention. In the end, many fans felt the biggest story wasn't that Isiah shared a brand new idea. It was that he said it publicly. He looked straight into the camera and gave his opinion without holding back. For many people, the debate had existed for years. This interview simply brought it into the spotlight. Fans, former players, and analysts have viewed LeBron's biggest moments in very different ways over the years. Some strongly reject Isiah's opinion. Others believe he simply gave a voice to a conversation that had already been happening. Either way, once those words were spoken, they became part of the GOAT debate. And fans kept coming back to that interview whenever the conversation started again. Some online discussions even suggested that more former players became willing to share their own opinions after the interview. Those claims remain difficult to verify, but supporters of that idea believed Isiah made it easier for others to speak more openly. Whether that's true or not, many fans felt this interview became much bigger than one quote. It sparked a conversation that spread across the entire basketball world. That's why so many fans felt this interview mattered. It wasn't just about one quote. It was about everything that happened after it. The conversations, the debates, and the questions it raised across the basketball world. Another thing also caught people's attention. At that point, LeBron James had not responded publicly. There was no official statement. No interview about Isiah's comments. No social media post. No direct reaction. That silence quickly became part of the story. Fans started reading it in different ways. Some saw it as confidence. They believed LeBron's career spoke for itself, and he didn't feel the need to answer every criticism. Others thought staying quiet was simply the smarter move. In their view, responding would only bring even more attention to Isiah's comments. Both opinions spread quickly across social media. Many fans agreed on one thing. If LeBron had responded, the story would have become even bigger. Sports shows would have spent days breaking down every word. Analysts would have debated every detail. Instead, the conversation kept growing without a direct reply. Some people felt that left the question hanging. Others believed no response was needed at all. Either way, the debate didn't slow down. More people watched the interview. More people shared their opinions. And the discussion only got louder. That leads to the biggest question of all. What does this mean for LeBron's legacy? To answer that fairly, it's important to remember everything LeBron has achieved. His career has been incredible. His longevity, his consistency, his championships, his records, his playoff success, and his ability to stay among the league's best for so many years. Those accomplishments are undeniable. Nothing Isiah said changes what LeBron has achieved on the court. But for many basketball fans, the GOAT debate isn't only about numbers. Statistics matter. Championships matter. Awards matter. But many people also believe greatness is defined by the biggest moments. The highest pressure games. The toughest situations. The moments fans remember forever. That was the heart of Isiah's argument. He wasn't saying LeBron failed every time the pressure was high. His opinion was that there were enough moments where LeBron didn't meet the standard Isiah personally uses when judging the greatest competitors in basketball history. Whether people agree with that view or completely reject it, that was the point he was making. And that's why the interview created such a huge reaction. It shifted the conversation away from stats and toward mentality under pressure. Every basketball legend has moments that define their legacy. Fans remember Michael Jordan's legendary playoff performances. They remember Kobe Bryant's relentless mindset. They remember Isiah Thomas fighting through pain during championship runs. Those moments became part of their stories because they happened when the pressure was at its highest. Now Isiah's comments have added another question to the GOAT debate. Supporters and critics continue to argue over the answer. And neither side seems ready to back down. The question remains the same. When basketball history is judged as a whole, does LeBron have enough defining moments under the biggest pressure to convince everyone he's the greatest player of all time? For many fans, that's a debate that may never have a final answer. So where does that leave the GOAT conversation? Some believe Isiah simply said out loud what had been discussed for years. Others believe LeBron's career already answers every criticism. That's what makes this debate so interesting. People can watch the same career and reach completely different conclusions. One thing is certain. Isiah's comments restarted one of basketball's biggest conversations. Whether you agree with him or not, very few interviews create this kind of reaction. Even today, fans continue to debate what those 5 words really mean. He quits when it gets tough. Coming from a 2-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer, those words carried extra weight. Some fans agreed with Isiah completely. Others defended LeBron by pointing to everything he has accomplished throughout his career. That's exactly why this debate isn't going away anytime soon. One interview turned into one of the biggest basketball conversations of 2026.